Ooh, hey guys, golly, I wasn't ready for that. We got a little light coming in on the old camera, so let's see if I can fix that. Let's see if we can get this to work right. Definitely some problems here starting up tonight. But what we're here to do is talk about two different things tonight, and those are monofilament eyes for shrimp and things like that, or flies that you don't want any weight on, but you do want the eyes. So here we go. First, this is all homegrown stuff. I just buy beads like at the bead store to do this with. You find some colors that kind of look like what you remember. Me, all my bead eyes, my like mono bead eyes are tied for use on shrimp, so they're usually black. And what we do nowadays, since it's so easy to use the UV clear finish, which I really like. This is, Loon. It's not nearly as toxic as the others that have come and gone out of business in the meantime. So I use that, and then to go ahead and dry it, I still have this old light from Clear Cure Goo. Yep, my bead's gone, so that's not unusual. The bead flew off to somewhere, so let's get another bead on there. I'm sure I'm gonna have beads in my clothes and stuff after this is all over with because they're so tiny and so hard to deal with. And this is 40-pound Andy monofilament. You could use the hard, what's it called? Let me look. Mason's Hard. You can use that to make these with. Something, it's got to be thick and it's got to be stiff. That way you can tie it in without creating a big old bend on the stalk of the eye. So there we go. There's that right there. And here's the way I do it. I just come along right here like this. Get a nice bead on it of the, oops, going this way a little bit. Ah, man, this is harder than I thought, dude. Golly, these are so tiny. I should have used bigger beads, but anyway. Maybe the best way to go on this, I haven't done this in so long, maybe the best way to go on this is actually to put some of the clear, the UV clear on there before, onto the actual monofilament. Just put that on just like that, and then right there like that. You can do it just like that. And you do this right here. That should stick it pretty good, I think. Now, and what you do is if you got a little extra sticking out the end of the eyeball, you just go ahead and take your needle nose pliers or whatever you got, and what you want to do is go ahead and just take those and cut that tip off, make it look more realistic. I'm going to tell you right now that this is a lot of time to spend on eyes when I don't think the kind of fish that we're after that take shrimp, they're not looking at shrimp in the eye. They're just going after it. So this is just a little fun exercise tonight. Looks like a fun exercise of dexterity, actually. So there we go. There's a mono eye, and what you can do is if you want them in pairs, you just go ahead and flip it over like this. And what I like to do is I do kind of like to do them in pairs, because what that does is that keeps them together, and you don't have to go searching around or dropping things like I'm obviously doing tonight. So it's a good way to go. Let me try it, because I seem to be challenged tonight. And I haven't even had a beer yet, for goodness sake. Can you believe that? So we've got another bead right here. Gonna run it down. And if you don't want to do it like I'm talking about and pair them up, just get you an extra long piece of mono, and this may not even go on, it's so badly cut. So get you an extra long piece of mono and just cut it down. This stuff, monofilament, is cheap. You know, this stuff is cheap compared to everything else in fly fishing. So just do it that way. I just use the mono that I have laying around most of the time to do this with. And I'm having a hard time with the beads tonight for some reason. This is not actually a bead holder. That's probably part of the problem. But let's just try this, man. This is like a recipe for disaster. Man. All right, bead holder time. Ay, 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 ay. Let's see if I can see these things here. And it's magnetized, which you don't want on the fly tying benches, to have your tools get magnetized. Trust me on that one. All right, man, this is just perfect. Perfection. Here we go. Cut it like that, just so we can point it in. Da, 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 da. You never dreamed it would be this hard, did you? Magnetization doesn't help either. So, oops, that's not a thread. These beads, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna switch beads. We're gonna have one of these guys. I can't believe we're 6 minutes into this and we still haven't got a pair of eyes yet. I used to rip these out so fast, but you know, it gets a little harder when you haven't done it in a while. It takes a lot of good dexterity to get this thing going. So on one end, and this doesn't matter much either. These beads are probably, ooh, tiny. They're really small. See that? I don't know if you can see that or not. Tiny bead. No, you can't. It's tiny. So let's try to get that bead on there. Quit wasting time. There we go. Beads on. I'll take it like this. I'm going to go out horizontally like that. Just about right there. Same spot. See, and I just run it down. You can run it down anywhere you want. If you're just making them and not matching them up to be 2 on 1 piece of mono, you just do that right there. Let that baby spin out a little bit. Spit out and spin out. And you can take this actually and run the bead back up onto your UV fast drying like this, and you're on. Done deal. So that one's in. That one is just about perfect. I look at the diameter on that. It's good, really good. And so that bead is on there. We're gonna go ahead and hit it on this side too. So we got something going now. See, that's good. That's not going anywhere. It won't be knocked off. You can't cast it off. It'll last you through several fish. There we go. One more hit. Spin it around. Ooh, that is beautiful. So guys, this is how you take just a piece of monofilament and a couple of beads and some of your Loon UV, this stuff right here, clear, and that stuff really is my favorite right now. If anybody wants to send me samples of another brand, feel free to do so. There we go. So there's a pair of eyes for you. Good stuff, ready to go. So you know, you're not gonna run these two together, so you just take them, find the middle, cut it in half, boom, boom, and you're off to the races. Now the other part of what I'm here for tonight is to tell you guys about a new company that I found. It's called SiteCast, and one of the hardest things we have is to do if we're going to do it yourself is tying spoon flies for the Texas Gulf Coast. Well, that's all I ordered mostly was just some spoon fly bodies, and I think I know how these are made now. And I'll just tell you, it doesn't matter because you're gonna figure it out if you're halfway smart. There's a thing called Cricut, and it's this digital cutter that you get at Joann Fabrics. They have them. They're like $300 to $400, somewhere in there, maybe up to $450, something like that. But what they do is they'll take a program of any shape you want and cut it out really finely through digital. It's like a a digital, what would you call it, a 3D printer, but it's only in 2D, so it only does things like this. But this guy, SiteCast, that's what I imagine he's using, and I love the quality. And he's got a dozen different colors of these guys. Look at these. Man, they are awesome. So I bought quite a few different colors, and they're around here somewhere, but this is the most important ones, really. I think, well, maybe this is all the colors I bought. I just want to see these. The one thing I think about these is that they might be a little bit large, a little bit big, but otherwise this is the best you can get and the greatest price you can get, and that's from right here from SiteCast. So SiteCastFishing.com. Tell this guy where you found this stuff from me, and really just give him a shout because not only did he send me this is just what I ordered, this and I think maybe one other thing, but he sent me some great top water foam strips for flies. Look at this, the right thickness. I don't know if the light will let it through. The right thickness. Let me show. I've got some open right here. They're not so messed up. And the right width for tying those topwater gurglers and shrimp and stuff like that. Look at it. And you can pick your tone. This is a lighter tan right there and the darker brown right there. These are great because I don't have to sit around and cut these. It's very affordable. And they're the right thickness to pinch when you have to pinch them. 210 flat wax is what I use for all my saltwater flies. A lot of my flies are big and, you know, for big fish, so I tie with 210 flat wax. But anyway, these are great. Here's the result. Oh, let me show you one other product he sent me. I'm just amazed by this stuff. It's a lot like the Puglisi fiber, bottle brush type fiber, but this stuff is thinner and more sparse, and that's the biggest complaint I have with Puglisi, is it's hard to get it thin and sparse. So that's that. Look what it makes. Look what it makes. Look at these guys. That is a topwater shrimp gurgler dude that I came up with. Didn't have any topwater action on this trip to Port Mansfield, but look at this guy. He's got a great personality, I'm telling you. Great. Cool. Back to the spoons. Let me just show you real quick what a spoon fly looks like from what I would say from the factory. And that would be the Kingfisher, like the Kingfisher Inn in Texas. And I used to order these pre-made. They used to sell the bodies and then they quit selling the bodies. I don't know where you can find. This body is smaller. It may even have a different shape to it. So what happens is these guys tie on a smaller hook. Caught plenty of redfish on these things before. It's killer fly is a Texas spoon fly, and gold is the best color, you know, for Texas saltwater fishing. But I mean, they had a variety of colors. I don't know, Kingfisher, they might just do exclusive to one of these fly distributors now. Very expensive fly to make. I'd say they probably retail now for something like $5 or something. Wish I could get this to focus on that. There's what they look like right there. Let's see if I can just touch it and get it to focus somewhere else. No, it's not gonna do it. So that's it. Stick it in your nose, whatever you want. Anyway, that's the Kingfisher. Now here is this guy's spoon. You can see it's bigger. It has to go on a bigger hook. Still beautiful. It's got the adhesive on this side, so it adheres. It's got the little tabs on the ends. You can see those tabs. That's for tying it in. So adhesive in the tabs, man, you can't beat that. But then the next thing you got to do is go ahead and coat these guys, and I believe in using epoxy because it's cheaper than using up this stuff. This stuff is what, $18 for that size right there, and $18 would buy you like a gallon of epoxy. So that's what you do, is coat it with epoxy. These are not coated, they're just sitting here waiting to be done. And the reason they're waiting is because my dryer, you know, one of those epoxy fly dryers that spins around, I had it sitting around for years, battery powered, deader than a doornail. So lost that, but gained some great information, great products from SiteCastFishing.com. Make sure I got that right again. And I can't remember, I think this guy's in Texas, on the back. So guess how many are in here? Not only does it's 18. You will never tie. It'll take you, like, 18 of these is a massive number. So, but on the back, I just noticed it says designed to fit size number 2 hooks of many popular brands: Daiichi 2546, Mustad 34007, Kona USS, Timco, TMC 811S, and more. So it says 18 quantity, number 2 hook, right here on the back. 18 quantity, number 2 hook. So that tells me maybe he makes one for a size 4, a little smaller. And I didn't think to ask or even see that on the site, or maybe he's going to do that. But anyway, these guys, SiteCastFishing.com, check them out. If you're into tying your own smooth flies, it's probably one of the most time-consuming things you can do besides creating monofilament eyes, which was almost, well, pretty much a disaster today, I guess. But we got to have a disaster every once in a while, don't we? Thanks for watching, guys. If you missed it, I'll save this for a while. I'm not, this is something I'm going to do on Wednesday nights until I find a place to actually go and tie flies nearby here in North Texas. Then I'm going to have to drink a lot more water or beer to get this thing squared away with my vocal cords. Be sure you subscribe to the Texas Flycaster YouTube channel, and also put a shout out to SiteCastFishing.com. That's SiteCastFishing.com. And we'll see you next Wednesday night, all things being equal, here at the Texas Flycaster YouTube channel live broadcast. See you later, guys.